here we are with a good ride review of the Endeavor Live. It's their, full camber superboard. We rode this with Union Stratas and Union Atlas, Adidas Tactical ADVs, and the good old Burton Imperials, four of our favorites. And to give you a quick summary, this is the big boy board. This is for you grown-ups out there. This is for you people who survived the O's. And you just, all you know is camber. And you don't want to fuck around with any compromise shit like, a little lifted side or the hybrid camber world. It's technical, it's aggressive, it's unforgiving, but it rewards that person who knows how to ride it more than these boards would reward you. So let's get into the flex here. You want to do the old 1-2?
Yeah.
Oh, they're
nice
all similar. Flexes. Yeah, they're all a little similar in flex. They all feel medium-ish. The more expensive boards are a little stiffer, a little more poppy, but they all have that very similar personality. It's got a good flex to it, but unlike the Ranger and the Pioneer, and even these boards to a certain extent, they just weren't that buttery. This just wasn't buttery.
No.
It felt like it took everything I got. Like, I love you, man. Like, everything you got, like, I just needed everything I had to get this to butter, and I don't know, what'd you guys think?
It wasn't optimal width for me, but I enjoyed riding it. I enjoyed the camber. Tons of pop, tons of spring out of turns.
Yes.
If I wasn't catching heel or toe edge, like to ride this in maybe the larger size and in a wide. But yeah, I mean, these boards, there's a lot of positives about these boards. So.
Personally, for me, and riding this in the 60-degree slush that we had, I was working against this board. Maybe I need to get to know this board a little bit better, but I felt like we were kind of at different. We were seeing different things.
It's kind of like a friend you go to a concert with and he's just way far ahead of you drug-wise.
Oh yeah, 100%.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like you're like, hey, slow down, we're not all there yet.
Maybe I gotta catch up and get on this board's level.
He's got it in his pocket and he's not sharing.
I'm just gonna.
I'm that guy.
This board will ride you if you don't ride it, and you have to be kind of accustomed to riding camber again, and riding the flat and reverse camber for the last couple days.
Just going from those to this, you're like, whoa, okay.
Yes.
Let me think about this.
You don't take a bong hit and slam a beer and then ride that board. No.
These boards had a lot of the pop and energy of the Live, but had that, just because of this little lifted thing you got going on right here, right at the top, they're lifted right here and the catch points, so they felt way more forgiving. So if you want that full camber experience of the Live, but you want it to be a little more forgiving, then you've got these. And I've still felt these popped really well. Yeah. They didn't quite have that energy, that full camber. This is a whole nother level, but this is very technical, very locked in, very unforgiving. Great edge hold, wouldn't you guys say?
Yeah, good edge hold. Yeah.
I believe like the extra camber in this definitely provides a little bit more edge hold.
Yeah, I felt like it gripped like a champ. It's a little better than these guys, but still really like not quite a hard so specialist, but a little more on that side.
It's still a niche board.
Yeah, it's so niche.
Yeah.
And the turning experience and the carving, this thing just jammed over all these boards. It just really lays it out. It's really hard. It's really mean. But you can carve this thing regular and switch really well. And then speed, I felt like this bombed really well, but it's not like a super bomber. Kind of like a 3.5 or 4 out of 5. Yeah, I love this. I love the energy they put in the smooth ride, the smoothie. Yeah, it really, the urethane sidewall, I feel does a good job at dampening. And uneven terrain, I didn't really, this was one of those boards where you're tentative. I didn't really like.
Extremely tentative.
I didn't really like, I kept finding myself on these. I just kept going back to these. I'd ride this for a couple runs and then I'd go get that, you know?
Right.
Because this isn't the board I want to hammer through bumps on.
No, it was riding me for a minute.
Yeah.
Instead of me riding it. So yeah.
Yeah. and that's the problem here, you know, with a camber board. But look, if you dial it back, I could turn in and out of moguls well enough. I rode it through a mogul field and it did all right. And I would say switch, perfect either way.
Yeah.
Powder, very difficult. I took one run and it was just felt like a camber board in powder. This is a hard board to ride in powder for your average rider. If you're a ripper, you could have a fun time with this. You'll enjoy how you can use the camber and the powder and kind of dolphin around and really spring off shit.
Yeah, you got it.
And this will be great for you.
If you've been riding powder boards in powder all season, then I get on this and I'm thinking, what's the point? Like, what am I doing?
Yeah.
But
yeah,
again, you can set this back
I'm
further.
ruining my powder day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you can, if this is your only board, you can, without EST bindings, go way far back on this, further than you could with most boards, unless they have the slam back inserts, and it could definitely help you out. Yeah. So it's not the worst.
On the
It's not the
table
worst.
review to see how far you can set it back. You can get decent directional float for a camber twin, but it's still a cartwheeler. You know, as far as park goes, you've got to be a very technical rider, but you could just launch the biggest kicker you want on this.
Yeah.
And, you know, not that much of a jib board, amazing for kickers, good technical pipe riders board. Not for me. I like that forgiving nature of these boards because I'm not a really strong pipe rider by any means, and I like something that when I get off my game in there can be forgiving. This would send me slamming down. Yeah. You know, this camber reminds me of why I've had a few surgeries. You know, but for the right rider, I think overall this could be an amazing board. It just doesn't have that everyman's board vibe, but if you're a ripper, this is done very well. It's got great energy, great pop, great drive out of the turn. If you just love to carve a twin either direction, this will do it.
And
yeah. So there you have it, boys.
Yeah.
I had some hard days on boards like these in the past, full camber. Unforgiving, mean motherfuckers.
It's the only option in '93.
Yeah. It's the only option in the O's.
In early 2000s.
You know?
That's
The
true.
90s, the O's. I mean, we learned on catching an edge on camber.
You get a concussion, you weren't having fun.